up in that F-150. People trying to talk, but I don't got time to listen. Trying to find my way, I gotta stay on the mission. My family need me now, and I don't have time to miss them. Always trying to work, all the way down to the whistle. I give it all I got, cause it help with my mental. Always on the grind, like the king, I'm official. Smoking on this gas, help me get through my issues.
Welcome to the VC Lab.
What's up? This your boy 97 Miles. I got some special guests in the building. The Dupont Hadley Bulldog football coaching staff. How y'all doing today?
Good, man. Good. What's going on?
Man, nothing much, man. We were supposed to get this in a long time ago, but that was my fault. Again, that was my fault. But, man, we did that thing last year, didn't we?
For sure, yeah.
Yeah, we did a little something.
Did a little something.
We did a little something.
I know he ain't just saying a little something. Out of everybody, we won that. We did that thing. All cocky and stuff, but he be the one on the sideline finna get us to get to fighting with the other coaches and stuff.
Get us flags. Coach BY be hype.
But before we get into this thing, I just want to thank y'all for letting me be a part of the coaching staff last year. You know, it was my first, official season being a for real deal coach. And I appreciate y'all, man. I thank y'all for that.
Job too. Excellent job.
Oh, yeah, I'm still learning, you know what I'm saying? And I know y'all pushing me.
You did your thing.
Y'all pushing me and everything. I'm still learning, and I appreciate y'all for that being my first year, man. That was a heck of a year, especially being alongside my brother, even though it was some challenging times sometimes. But it worked out. It was better than what I thought it was going to be.
Yes,
So,
sir.
before we get, deep off into that, so who we want to start with first? Coach Marshall or I'll be.
Go with Coach BY.
So where you from, Coach BY?
I'm actually from Nashville. I was born in Nashville, but I grew up in South Florida.
Okay.
So, as a kid, I moved down to Fort Lauderdale, Florida, lived with my dad, and I was down there until my senior year of high school, in which I came back to Nashville and went to Maplewood. So, and after Maplewood, I went out to school, went out to college. Then I returned back to Nashville in about 2000 it was, and I've been here ever since.
So did you go to college to play ball or?
Nah, I stopped playing ball in middle school actually. So I played football up until middle school. Then I was playing all the sports, but once I got there, I switched and went solely to basketball. And then when I got to high school, believe it or not, I got cut on my high school basketball team. So I started hitting with it. I was in the band.
So what made you stop playing football?
Actually, honestly, what happened was down in
Scoot
Florida,
the mic up a little bit for me if you
when
can.
I was down there, you can hear me?
Yeah,
All
I can.
So what happened actually when I got to Florida, I had been playing football like forever. And believe it or not, it was simply because my game night was church night, and my dad wasn't finna get me to my games. And after that first year that happened and stopped football, I kind of went on to something else.
Oh, so y'all played on Wednesday nights?
Friday. Church was on Friday.
No disrespect. What part of what type of?
Hey, it's actually a popular church, man. It was the Church of God in Christ. So Wednesday night was Bible study.
Yeah.
And we had another service on Friday nights. Then every Sunday.
Yeah.
So, but that kind of put me playing football about that to a close pretty early.
Oh man. So you transitioned from playing a whole bunch of sports to trying to focus solely on basketball, and then like Michael Jordan through high school, it kind of got cut short.
Right.
And then what college did you go to?
I went to Howard University.
Okay.
So, out of Maplewood, I went straight up to Howard University. I did 1 year up there. Then I headed back to Florida for it wasn't even a whole year. Because that next in 98, in that fall semester, I actually was in Nashville, and I went to, not 98, but it was like 2000, I believe it was, something like that. And
Okay.
I ended up going to Nashville Tech, and that's about it.
So when you was at the Wood, man, how'd you like it, man? Because people from the Wood, man, they always be like the Wood, and I be like, oh Lord.
It was cool. It was a different experience. What was pretty cool about it too they were the Panthers, and my school in Florida was also the Panthers, so I thought that was pretty cool.
So it kind of make you feel comfortable a
Yeah,
little bit.
yeah, I didn't have to, I was always a Panther in high school in both cities. So,
Okay, from Florida
right,
all the way to Nashville.
Right, but Maplewood was pretty cool. It was a different experience, comparing it to the high schools down in South Florida, but it was a good experience.
So from there, when you got back and you got out of school, what made you start getting into coaching?
Well, that would come a little bit later on, because I would have a child, my son.
Yeah.
And when he became 5, actually, that's when I first got out there and started coaching. A guy named Tayo. He came to me and he was like, "Hey,
What up, whoa?"
Right, what up, whoa? He told me he needed some help, and I'm probably like any other guys. I don't know nothing, kind of think you really don't know, but you don't know until you jump in it. So I started coaching my son with Tayo that year, and I can't remember what year it was, but it was like I can't remember what year that was.
Okay.
But he was 5 years old, and that was my first time coaching him. When he was 5 and 6, and we lost every game too. And that's how my career got kicked off.
Man.
Why are you looking like that?
I mean, that's a.
But then after that though, just to kind of bring it to current. After those first 2 years, it was a learning experience.
Yeah.
We would take a year off because my son, I didn't want him playing contact every year, so I put him in flag so he could take a year off. He was 7. The next year, we wanted to play tackle again. And then Tayo came back to me and was like, "Hey, I'm starting the Antioch Jets, and I want you to come, be a coach for me." So I was like, "All right." And he was like, "You can be head coach." And I was like, "Okay, cool." So, and that's when everything really kicked in gear.
So is that when you met?
That is where I met Coach Marshall.
All right, we're gonna stop.
He was coaching my son, and
all right, we're gonna.
All right,
we're gonna stop right there because we're gonna line this up. All right, now, Coach Marshall.
What up?
So where you from, dog?
I'm from here. I grew up in Madison.
Okay.
333 Real Vista Drive.
So what schools did you go to in the city?
I went to Hunters Lane for high school. Actually, middle school, I went to Dupont Hadley. So, it came full circle.
So you went to Dupont Hadley?
Yeah. We actually didn't have a football team.
Back then?
Nah, they wouldn't buy no equipment. They would not buy equipment. So, we all had to play youth league until we were 12 years old, and most of us missed football in the 8th grade. And then we jumped to high school. Yeah,
because when you was at Hunters Lane was the top dogs in the city, I keep hearing.
Yeah, we had a nice squad, football, basketball, track, just all around. Pretty good.
And around the time, like what years was this?
92 through 96.
Okay. Yeah. So through then, you were playing ball.
Football and basketball.
So how was it at Hunters Lane, playing sports at Hunters Lane?
It was cool, man. I played with some of the greats. I don't want to name drop in case I forget anybody, but they know who they are. Actually played against a lot of some of the best in the city from other schools.
Okay.
That went on to play pro ball. Same thing in basketball. I played defensive end, football, basketball. I played point guard. So like
you was running point.
Oh yeah.
That's hard to believe.
I wasn't no slouch. I ain't saying I wasn't the coldest, but I wasn't no slouch. You know what I'm saying? My thing was defense, much like it is, with us now. I was big on defense.
Yeah. So through that, you playing ball in Hunters Lane. Now it's time to graduate. What'd you do after you graduated from Hunters Lane?
When I graduated from high school, man, I was tired of school. I went ahead and jumped on the train at Vol State, and I just wasn't feeling school.
That's what
I wasn't feeling it, and before you know it, man, I was at that age, around 20, I guess, 19, 20.
Yeah.
I was at Vol State for like a year and a half, and then this company called Nissan was hiring.
They brought in that big old factory.
Oh yeah. So it was already here.
It was,
but it was time to hire. So
Yeah.
$26 an hour or struggling in class,
Man.
struggling to get to school. You know what I mean?
Cause I went to Ball State too.
Yeah, but I mean,
yeah.
it's not for everybody. I don't knock it, but I was presented with great opportunity, and I've always pretty much had really good jobs.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's what it was, man.
Okay, so you started working at Nissan, and you got done with school officially. So what got you into, man, I'm gonna start coaching football, or were you already coaching too while you were trying to do school and all
No, I think I forgot where I was at when I was coaching with Antioch Jets. But anyway, I coached with them for 2 years, I believe, and then that's the second year I was coaching with Antioch Jets. I was offered the assistant football coach, the head track coach. That's officially the first sport I started coaching.
that?
Then I became the assistant football coach at Jerry Baxter.
Okay, before we get there, hold on now, hold on.
That's how I got there.
I'm trying to figure how y'all got aligned.
Okay.
Yeah.
Antioch Jets.
Hey man, he jumped there. I'm like, hold on now, slow down.
I mean, like BY, I was part of the Antioch Jets startup
Okay.
organization.
Oh, so the year he came in, you was coming in too.
No, we both were. It was just
At the same time.
They transitioned from Flat Rock Vols.
Okay, see, I ain't never heard of them.
Yeah, that's because you're young, man.
Flat
But
Rock.
anyway,
Lord
Flat Rock
Jesus.
was one of those organizations that's been around for forever.
Out there in the smokies.
Yeah, like that was me playing back with Madison Rams back in the day.
Okay.
Flat Rock, they've been around for a long time.
Okay.
But we transitioned from Flat Rock to Antioch Jets. Got that going. Had a lot of kids. A lot of people said we weren't going to be able to get it going. And, Jawan, Tayo, Maisha, Q, some of the people that got us started with the Antioch Jets.
Okay, so how did y'all officially meet when he started coaching your son,
It was
right?
through the Jets. He was a coach and I was a coach.
On the same team?
Nah.
Okay.
Same organization,
But
we
different
had
team.
different age groups. And his son was one of my players. Also, Coach Battle, Anastasia. She was one of my players too. First girl I ever coached.
Okay.
And man, we went from there. Once I got offered the assistant football coach job, it kind of took me away from youth football, and that's how I got started in the middle school ball.
Okay. So how did y'all get so tight?
It wasn't a matter of us getting tight. I think we were at Vanderbilt for a football camp. Yeah, we're Vanderbilt at football camp. I think. No, it was Vanderbilt because you working the camp.
Speaking the mic.
You was working the camp. Yeah, that's what it was. BY was working the camp.
He got the,
And
hold on. He got the mic all over. He feeling
My bad. Oh, my bad. Hey, you know what? I know what you're talking about. I remember now. No, I got you.
Yeah, but I was talking to him, about possibly going to Dupont Hadley, and he was saying, man, I would love to get into, step into the middle school football world. And I said, well, go ahead.
So at this time, were you already, like, when did you get the Bordeaux Eagles? That's what I'm trying to figure.
So this is how that happened. So
from the Vanderbilt camp.
but that was
He was already with
I
Bordeaux
was already
Eagles.
with Bordeaux.
Oh, okay, so you had been and left the Antioch Jets.
Yeah.
I did.
Okay.
He did 2 years there. I only did 1 season at the Antioch Jets.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically, so you did your 1 season, and your son was there that one
Right,
season,
that 1 season.
and then
And then that next season is when I took him. The season after that, I took him to flag, and I went to the Bordeaux Eagles.
okay. So how many years of Bordeaux Eagles was it before you started coaching at Hadley?
Okay, I'm currently still with the Bordeaux Eagles. It was 1, 2, 3. I was there for 2 years, and then on that 3rd year, I still was with the Bordeaux Eagles, but then I started coaching in Dupont Hadley too.
Okay. So in his 3rd year at Bordeaux Eagles, that's when you got approached to get the head coaching job.
At Hadley.
Yeah.
During
Yeah.
that time.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
around about that time.
And in the midst of his 3 years, you had transitioned from youth rec ball to middle school ball.
Yeah, I had already been in middle school about 2 years.
Yeah. And then you started where again? Jerry Baxter?
Jerry Baxter.
And you was the assistant coach?
I was started off as an assistant coach. Yeah. Yeah.
Why you chuckled a little bit?
I mean, that's what it was.
Yeah. And then you become the head coach?
Yeah, we
second
turned
year?
the program around.
Yeah. And to tell them about that, how the program was when you got there. And
I mean, I think they had won like one game in 3 years.
uh-huh.
And, you know, myself and Coach Vic, we came in. Didn't have a whole lot to work with as far as parent
Support,
participation, support, funding at the school.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not one of the schools with, you know, more money.
Mm-hmm.
We had to get it how we got it.
Okay.
And, you know, that was if it wasn't the only team, it was one of a few teams at Jerry Baxter that only had a one-loss season.
Okay. So how did it come about? Like, man, I'm finna be the head coach of Dupont Hadley. And how did you end up bringing him along? And
Well, you know, Dr. Armstrong, shout out to Dr. Armstrong, he gave me the opportunity. You know, he just asked if I, you know, would like to come work for him at Dupont Hadley. At the time, I was contemplating leaving Jerry Baxter, and I took the job. Over the summers when I saw Coach B.Y., and he was, you know, he expressed that he wanted to get into the middle school football world. I told him that I wasn't for sure if I was going to take the job yet or not, and if I did, I would let him know. You know, I don't think he thought that I was going to give him a call back. I thought he probably thought I was just blowing smoke. But you know, as soon as I got that job or accepted the job at the school, I was given the football job and the track job because, you know, track was my sport at Jerry Baxter as well. And here we are.
so when he gave you that call, he gave you that good old call. B.Y., I need you, dog. I need you. You know what I'm saying? How was that conversation, man? We was like, man.
We had a good conversation. He hit me up and was like, "Are you still interested in it?" And hey, I jumped on it.
Mm-hmm.
I told him yes. You know, I was ready. I was looking for an opportunity. He presented me with a good one. I took it.
And then, so what again, for the people that don't know what your role is for Dupont Hadley, what's your role?
Offensive coordinator.
Okay, now I ain't gonna lie, y'all. The man pretty good at what he do. I ain't gonna lie, because you know, B coming in being a first year coach, and he put the playbook in front of me. The thing felt like it's at least 50 pages, and it's different formations and everything. So that's why I'm like, man, I'm really finna learn some stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, how did you get that offensive minded?
Well, as a matter of fact, I actually started off on the defensive side. Like when I first came, I had coach, like the shout out to Coach Kurt, Coach Q, Quincy. That was the coaching staff, you know. And Quincy, he had the offense. I actually had the defense.
Okay.
It wasn't until I got to the Bardo Eagles after that first year with the Jets.
Mm-hmm.
And when I came on there, which shout out to Brandon Powell, gave me an opportunity to do my thing there. He hooked me up with a coaching staff that needed an offensive coordinator. And it just so happened that during the off season, I was already, because I was anticipating being the head coach again, and I was going to probably take over that offense.
Yeah.
So during that off season, I was drawing up plays, thinking about concepts and doing all that. So when I ended up leaving the Jets, it was a situation that happened there that I had to leave the Jets. Came over to Bardo. He hooked me up with a team that just happened to need an offensive coordinator. Everything really took off. I was in a situation with a team who wasn't expected to do nothing.
Yeah.
You know, all of it. I mean, they wasn't that good. And we ended up playing at Vanderbilt for the championship that year.
Oh, baby, I've been to Vanderbilt a couple times with my little brother, and it is nice.
It is hot, and you need some fans or something in here, bro.
I Hey, look, don't disrespect my
I ain't,
stuff
man, I'm
now.
just saying it's hot, man. Yeah.
Look, man, it's hot outside. I want to see if y'all gonna do that, man. See,
My bad, man. Come
see,
on,
here
come
we
on,
go
man.
now.
I'm just saying it's hot.
We don't want to go viral in this thing. But so you know, you doing your thing. You learned your offense of how you want to run it. And then you come to Dupont Hadley. So that first year y'all there, how did y'all think the season was gonna go?
Well, I mean, of course, these kids are new to me, to both of us. They were used to a certain style, certain coaches, and you know, we came in, shook things up a little bit. To us, man, it was more about building a program versus having the Dupont Hadley football team. It was all about being a program. You know, we did everything from, you know, having our boys in tutoring before practice, you know, just introducing them to a new way of football and getting them ready for the next level.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it was new to us. We didn't know what to expect, honestly. We
Okay.
didn't, because all you heard was, you know, Dupont Hadley, they ain't won no football games. When you come to Dupont, that's a sure win, and you know, Dupont.
Because all I
Hadley,
think
they
about at
sorry.
Dupont Hadley is just Old Hickory Bulldogs. I don't even think about the middle school. I just think about Old Hickory Bulldogs, even though Tyron ain't never lost to him. I don't even think I lost to him when I played for Bordeaux Eagles. So it was like, man, and my brother ended up going there, and that's how I ended up meeting y'all. And then we ain't gonna get too deep in that, even though I know he gonna want to bring
Can we
shit
tell?
up.
Can we tell the story?
No, bro. No.
Can
no.
we tell the story? The people need to know the story.
No, bro. No, bro. No, bro. Don't bring
I'm gonna
it.
tell the story, man.
Nah, don't make me turn your mic off now.
All right, man. I ain't gonna tell the story.
Man, go ahead, bro. You can
ahead.
tell him, bro.
Go ahead.
And this the last time. This is every time you want to reference
Come on,
it.
man. Come on.
No,
come
no,
on.
go ahead and tell it.
It's in the house. Come on.
No,
man.
tell it, bro.
So the first time, not when I met Coach Q,
Well, what?
Quentin, but I think we were playing Neely's Bend. You know, at Neely's Bend, it was a game we supposed to blew them off the field. We didn't, but anyway, you know, I was approached real fast and angrily by this young man. You know,
Hold on now. It wasn't real fast. I waited till you wasn't around a lot of people.
and Coach B,
Because he told it in a way like the game over. I'm
But
just coming on the
anyway,
field, just tearing shit up. Nah, it
so
wasn't like that.
This man right here comes to me and says, Coach Marsh, I need to talk to you. Man, I feel like you misusing my brother. And you know, I look at Coach B.Y. and Coach Kidd, and they like, man, come on, Coach. I said, no, man, I want to hear what he got to say. Man, you misusing my brother. So, you know, I turned to his brother, turned to Tyra, and I say, so you feel like I'm misusing you? Yes, sir. Oh, okay. How am I misusing you? And they say, well, you got him at defensive end. This is a lesson to y'all young kids out there. You got him at defensive tackle, and he's really a defensive end. You're not using him right. So I turn to Tyron and I say, Tyron, how many tackles you have today? Like 7. Okay. You had an interception too. Yes, sir. And I think you had a fumble recovery. And you did it all from tackle? Yes, sir. And I'm misusing you. And he's only saying yes because his brother's giving him the eye like, you better say yes.
Nah,
You better say yes.
That's not what it was now.
And you know, I said my little piece, he said his. I didn't go too far like I can.
But I didn't go too far with you.
Yeah,
I ain't disrespect you or nothing.
Long story short, you know, it kind of pissed me off because I was being questioned, and his brother was actually dominating at the position. But, you know, a week later, he came to me, apologized, and I told him, hey, man, that's water under the bridge. I don't hold no grudges. You know, it wasn't going to make me change the way your brother played or, you know, how I coached him.
He gonna bring it up every time he can.
Nah, I won't bring it. I won't bring it up no more. But you know, it was just, that's something I tell the kids a lot. You got to be a student of the game, And it's not about the position that you think you play, is what your coach asks you to play. Because a lot of times the coaches, we know what the kids can do better than they can do. So I'm done talking about it. We won't speak on it no more. It's buried.
All right, man. And that's the only time we ever got to real kind of arguing. Other than that, he just be on that bull. But so that first year, how many games did y'all lose?
We lost two. We lost one regular season game, and then we lost the first round of the playoffs.
To the ones that actually won the playoffs.
To the city championship, McKissick team, Ed Sanders. He did a great job over there with those kids. But it showed us where we wanted to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I vowed to never take another whooping like that.
Yeah, I remember when Tyron was crying. He was like, man, he was crying and said a couple words he probably shouldn't have said. But I was like, man. And I remember I was at that game too, at McGavick over there.
Yeah, they had our number. They did. Like I
mean,
they had a great coach, and I'm no excuses. Well, yeah, I ain't even gonna talk about.
Yeah, no excuse.
We got beat.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
Yeah, they was ready to go to basketball. But so from that season, coming back next year, what was the mentality y'all was trying to bring for that 2019 season?
Well, my mentality was, at the end of the season before that, it already set in my head. For one, I had it out for McKissick. And that kind of just drove me like right out the gate as soon as I left that game. But as I walked into the 2019 season, I just wanted to come with an attitude of we're not losing.
Okay.
We came in the first year to a school that's never won, and we just went to the playoffs and lost in the first round.
Yeah, and didn't lose a game at home at all.
Still haven't lost any home games.
No.
But that was just it. I'm like, we got this far here. It's like there's no turning back at this point.
Okay.
It's either second round championship or bust. So,
yeah.
Just the mindset of we about to finish the deal. We about to make some noise this year.
Mm-hmm.
So we kind of made our presence a little bit felt in that first year.
Oh yeah.
But I was determined to. I know I was. This is my mindset. I'm like, oh, y'all about to know who we are this time.
Yeah. And then in the midst of all this, like on my end, before I even became a part of the coaching staff, I'm seeing that, and then now my brother, he like, well, my brother finna go to high school one more year after that. Shoot, I'm finna go on and get in Little League or something. So I ended up trying to go over there with the Nashville Elite Seminoles. But I forgot what dude name that was running it. Ron, was it? No, it wasn't Ron. I forgot his name. But everybody know who he is. So then I'm there, I'm trying to, get the practices and do all that. We only got like 12, 13 players. And then, we still doing our thing and picking up kids and all that. And then the whole little scandal happened where they felt like money went somewhere and people got paid for that wasn't paying for their fees.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I ain't know nothing about none of that. I was like, okay, now, what's this I'm seeing? You know what I'm saying? And then people calling me, telling them about it, like, hey, I know you a good dude, but just be careful. This could happen. And then down the road, that thing happened, and I still don't judge him for it because I don't know. It's, what they say, what he say, and then in the middle is the truth. So I end up backing away from that. And then I forgot how did it come up for me to be the lineman coach. I know the lineman coach that was there before, his business started picking up a lot more.
Yeah. Coach Wilson. Another great coach we had, longtime friend.
Uh-huh.
But, yeah, we needed a line coach. And you had asked me, if you need any help. And I said, yep, immediately.
Mm-hmm.
And, I didn't know if you could coach or not. But I was ready to give you an opportunity.
And I appreciate that. That's why I wanted to thank y'all when we first started.
It was given to me. So, it was the same thing with Coach B.Y. when he said he wanted to step into the middle school world. That was my chance to help somebody else. So, that's what it's about. I couldn't we couldn't have that trophy right there if it wasn't for y'all too. Like I couldn't have did it by myself. So,
Oh yeah, for sure. But so we started practicing, and then when did y'all feel like, it's over with? Like, it's a wrap. Like, we finna
You
win
said
this.
what?
Like, when did y'all, once we started practicing and we looking at our boys that we got on top of the amazing playbook we have and the amazing defensive plays that we came up with, and we looking at our personnel and we like, it's a wrap. Like, we finna win this thing. Like, when did y'all, like, when did it just, it's over with?
The last day of school of the 2018-2019 school year.
That's when we knew it was over with. The last day of school the year before that.
And then I don't even think I was part of the coaching staff yet at that time.
I knew it because nobody works like us. Nobody works like us.
Because, we do things a little different than the middle schools around the city. Do we put more effort in? And then...
And I'm going to say, I don't mean but I mean, a lot of people say we cheat and this, that, and the other, and we do none of that. We do absolutely none of that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not our fault that we pour into our program when others don't. I'm not saying people don't, but the main people that cry and complain about it, they don't do what we do. We don't break any rules.
Yeah, there's no football.
It's
what we do.
It's called preparation.
Yep. No dummies, no none of that. We just
no dummies.
Conditioning.
We got a group of parents that we got the best parents.
Yeah.
Hands down. I mean
they show that they care.
They show up and they our kids show up 20 deep, 25 deep at football camps all around the city.
Yep.
And I get the same questions, man, why don't other middle school coaches do that? I don't know. I'm not worried about them. I work at Dupont Hadley.
Yeah. And then with us doing that, man, it even brought the boys together, you know what I'm saying, to where even when we did play, the Catholic Panthers, they were together in spirit. Just on the field, it kind of was still got to work on the little things. But in spirit and camaraderie, they were all together. You couldn't tell them nothing. You know what I'm saying? So season start, the Catholic Panther game come around. Even though it wasn't a game, it was a scrimmage. It was a scrimmage.
Right.
And and people, man, that's one of my.
They played an extra game. It was a scrimmage.
It was a scrimmage. And then I even hate how the Catholic Panthers take it, because they take it like it was a real game, and we been playing before. You know what I'm saying? Just like them when we won. We was only in past 4 days.
We wasn't even 7 days.
It was 5 days. We had 5 days of practice. 3 days of them were in pads.
But you know what? They did a great job. Even
they got us ready.
Exactly.
I know
that was a great game to have preseason.
It was for them. It was a wake up call to them, but I just didn't like how we pulled up. It was like, we got to hurry up, get everything going. They told us they were gonna give us 10 minutes. They only gave us like 5, and it was just the whole first half kind of, you know what I'm saying. But then second half they only scored, I think, once.
They did score once.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, I feel personally, if it was a little more calmer during walkthrough and everything, it probably would have been a little better. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying we would have won, but it probably wouldn't have been that big of a difference. But,
I was cool with it because, the year before we played at the middle school jamboree at Pearl Cone, and it was total domination. So I think we came out like 31-0 in the jamboree.
Something crazy like that.
And I
we was
did
getting
not,
interceptions and everything.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to go back the following year and do that again, and our boys leaving a jamboree with the big head. Man, we blew them out, and no, we let's put our feet in the fire, jump off the porch into the fire. And that's what we did. It showed us as coaches what we needed to work on, the adjustments we needed to make. And it showed the boys that, it's not about, because we had a lot of egos and a lot of people worried about stats and the ways of the world. They worry about stats and what I can do, and we had to get them to buy into this is a team effort.
Yeah.
Starting with me all the way down.
Because for our 8th graders, I ain't gonna lie, that season last year, with how we did it, how we did our plays, like even for Tyron, like sometimes it's not specific for you to make the tackle, but what you do can help somebody else make the tackle or the interception, and that was happening for a lot of the kids on the team. And then for them 8th graders that went to high school, that was kind of something good for them to experience. That it ain't all about the stats. Even though we did have some 8th graders that no matter what they do, they was gonna get what they was gonna do their thing regardless. So, but that was a good year, and I see some differences in Tyron from that, because he don't think just about, man, I gotta get the sack. Even though he do want to get his sacks, but he know as long as he do his part, if he get the sack or not, if the DBs doing what they supposed to do, him doing what he do should help them out too. So that's one thing I take for our 8th graders that they learned getting ready for 9th grade this year. So after that game, we start the season. Who did we have first again?
Dupont Hadley.
Yep. That was a blowout. Harrison Daddy came on the field, his truck and everything, playing music, boy, like it was a home game. Like it was a whole game. That was a blowout. Then what was next? Tyler. Yep.
Neely's Bend. And Neely's Bend had a real young team.
Yep.
I think they had a team full of 6th graders that they just weren't ready.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't ready at all.
Yeah.
They can be a threat in the next couple of years, because like I said, they had a team full of 6th graders.
Yeah.
They did.
So then after that, I thought was it Litton?
No, it was Donaldson.
Donaldson. Now I ain't gonna lie, that was a game where I was like, just from last year.
Yeah, that was a personal game.
Just from last year, I was like, man, we gotta go ahead and just try to. And then it still ended up being a good game, kinda. Not towards the end. I mean, yeah, of course we did our thing, but at the same time, it was for a minute there they was kind of battling for the first quarter, going in the second. Then
I mean, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I was very conservative that game. Like it was personal, and I wasn't prepared to take too many chances against them because I just wanted to win.
Yeah.
We could have won 7-0, and I was gonna be happy for that.
Yeah, that's how I feel. Cause Donaldson, that's just a whole different, like, everybody in the school, even if they don't play, we playing Donaldson today. Like, this for real today. Huh?
So that's how I went into that game. I'm sure that probably had something to do with the score, the ending score where we won 15-0.
Yeah.
But I mean, to me, it was all Hadley the whole game.
So then after that game, we go to Litton. Man.
That's we call that the lights out game.
Yeah, lights
We
out.
call that the lights out game. I mean, what you want to know about the Litton game?
Man, that game, man, was just like, it was though, because if that ref never made that bad call and called that one touchdown back, wouldn't nobody be saying that we cheated them, because the game would have been over way before then. And then all the little stuff that was happening, it was like, are they just gonna let?
Well, I take offense to that cheating. I mean, people say they barely beat us, and they shut down our running back. First of all, which one? We had 2 running backs that score over 15 touchdowns each.
Yeah.
Oh,
And one of them didn't even play in that game.
Yeah, I mean, it's the game was played in the dark, which was very dangerous. We actually had one of our starting linebackers get his arm broke in the game, playing in the dark. The game should have been called, and I hope that's something they work on, for these upcoming seasons.
Yeah.
When the time starts getting to us, I mean, folks need to start reaching out to. We need to have these games at high schools.
Or if you ain't gonna do that, at least go get some lights or something.
Yeah, because that's dangerous. But we call it the lights out game. You know, we had a whole lot of stuff go on in that game. We came out victorious, and
That's what matters.
Yeah.
that's all that matters to me.
Yeah. So then we go from there, and then
It was into Liberty, right?
Liberty
Liberty.
Canada, yeah. And that was a cool game too. I ain't gonna lie. That was a nice, to me. That was a nice, consistent game.
It was cool.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. There was some nice plays made. It was a cool game. They did have a nice running back,
Yeah.
you know, and then here come what's it? Yep, Two Rivers. And then you said you were nervous that game.
I was, man. I you know, Two Rivers. I can't remember if they barely beat Neely's Bend, or they had a couple of close games with Madison, Neely's Bend, you know. So they were one of those teams that could beat you if you slip up.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, you know, I wasn't nervous all season, but for that game, I think the fact that we were going for an undefeated regular season, you know, we would be the first team in the school's history to do that. I was kind of nervous about that game because
Two Rivers.
Two Rivers had a decent team, and if we didn't do our job, they could have very well beat us. So I was nervous, just, you know, how our boys were going to respond. I didn't know if they were going into it with, you know, we 5-0 and ain't nobody beat us.
Mm-hmm.
We about to blow up. You know, I didn't want them to have.
And then all the festivities we had going
festivities. That was our tailgate homecoming pink out game. So it was a whole lot goes on. That was one of the things they told me when I came to Hadley. You know, on our tailgate game / homecoming / breast cancer awareness game. You know, they big old tailgate at Dupont Hadley.
on. Yeah, get live out
You
there.
know,
Free hot
PTO,
dogs.
You know, put some stuff on the grill for the whole crowd. I mean,
You know how my
all the
mama
school
was.
Parents.
Give me one of them hot dogs.
You know, it's just, you know, a big deal at Hadley.
Yeah, and it was
that was
cool,
nice.
man. It was cool. It kind of gave me like a college vibe.
Yeah.
Kind of gave me like a college vibe, and I know the boys like it, especially going undefeated, boy. Them having all that support there. It was dunk too.
Yeah.
So then we get into the playoffs. We play East. Very first play of the game.
By far, man, that was my favorite game. Well, I won't say favorite, but I think the boys played with more intensity for that game than they did any other game. It was Halloween night, and there was a whole lot going on that day, man. The scoreboard, our scoreboard has never been messed up. The scoreboard didn't work. It rained. It was cold. It was Halloween. There's a lot going on. And then the first play of the game, we get the kickoff, and, you know, Bobby Gurley, he gets the kick deep, taking it back, and we think he's gone. And there's one man that hits him, you know, blind side, kind of twists him, and, you know, he turns and falls on his arm and basically snaps his arm in half. And, you know, I saw him get up and come to the sideline, and I told him to go down. And, you know, I think the only thing that held it together was the wristband he had on, because it was bad. So I think we had like a 30-minute, 45-minute delay. And, you know, we heard some laughter from the other side, and, you know, on film you can hear some things, and our boys took that personal, and they turned the heat up on East.
Yeah, they did.
Like all the way up.
They did.
First play from scrimmage.
Yeah, I don't think East was ready for that, man.
Nah.
So through all that, we get past that game. Now we got JT Moore. And I ain't gonna lie, to me, that was the only team all season that walked on Dupont Hadley Field and felt like they were truly finna whoop us. Just the way they were looking at our boys.
And I agree. I went out there before the game started.
Uh-huh.
Actually, and that's what kind of got me going that game.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was a little nervous. I was more nervous before East game than any game.
Yeah.
JT Moore, I was a little shaky. And I can't lie, I got out there and I looked at him and I was like, okay, we finna be in a fight.
Yeah, because I ain't gonna lie, they had that swag about them, and they had nice size. And then I had previously seen a running back, and just by looks, he passed the eye test. So I was like, okay, if we see them, it might. Then we end up, we got them on the schedule. No way. I ain't never think we were gonna lose. I just thought this might be our closest. You know what I'm saying? This might be a real deal. This either gonna be a shootout or it's gonna come down to the last play type thing. Then we get to playing. I just feel like our boys wanted it more than they did.
I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I was not worried about that game at all. I was not. I was not worried about that game at all. They were well put together, but like I said, the game I worried about the most was the Two Rivers game. But once we got past East, I think it was like 30-0. You know, I had somebody hit me with an inbox and say, yeah, y'all beat East, but wait till y'all play them teams from the other side of town. It's going to be a lot more competition. And I was like, okay. Like, I don't know what you want me to say. Okay. We're going to do what we do. We're not worried about them. Right. As long as we play our game, I'm not worried about everybody else. And they came to the doghouse, and they left the doghouse.
And I think that same week, the girls in soccer played JT Moore in the playoffs in soccer too.
They did.
And they lost to him.
They lost. They did.
So I was like, oh, no, we can't let them, like, sweep us. No, they ain't finna sweep us. We finna do this thing. But, man, that game was, that was a live game too, though. That was live. That was a live game. So then we get to the championship. Now, mind you, during that game,
The rematch.
I'm getting texts like, man, Litton done whooped Haynes. I was shocked. I ain't gonna lie. I was shocked. I was like, what? Ain't no way. Ain't no way they beat Haynes. Because I was thinking it was finna be a family affair for the championship. Him and his cousin.
Yeah, my cousin Quincy, he coach over at
Yeah.
Haynes.
And then they start running back. And then my brother been playing with each other since they was 5. So I was like, oh yeah, this finna be a beautiful night. Then they tell me, man, Litton done whooped up on him. I was like, what? I was like, oh, here it go. So all through that week, our boys is getting put in group chats with Litton players. It's like they trying to get buddy with our boys. And I don't know if that was a tactic to get them to kind of get on their soft side to not hit them as hard or what. But I was like, hey, coach, bro, they in them group chats talking and they looking buddy and stuff. We need to talk to these boys like
He did.
they can do that after the game because
Yeah.
like
And Q said you may remember B.Y. we were in the locker room because one of those days it was just too cold to practice. So I think it may have been night before the game. It was real cold, and we just went on back. We was out there maybe 15 minutes. Like we know what we got to do. We talked the rest of the time, but no, this was Monday or Tuesday night, and Q told me, and I said, hey man, there's no need for y'all to talk to them. There's no need. We beat them the first time. They got to come to us. And this is for all the marbles, all the chips, whatever you want to call it. Like, stop interacting with them dudes. And that's one thing with these kids today, man. They too cool with their opponents. Like I hear my longtime friend Odell Bradley. He talk about that all the time. Like it ain't no more competition. Like these kids are too friendly with each other. We all, even if we went to the center and played basketball or whatever against each other, it was us against y'all. We'd be cool at the store or something. We say, but competition. Man, we're not talking about nothing until this game is over. And if you beat me, we still not talking. We can talk about beat you, but after that, it's the competition. I just told them, stop talking to them guys. And I even got a call you know, from one of the coaches, and he was like, man, you know, we got our quarterback back. It's going to be a good game. I was like, okay. Yeah. That was all I said. You know, I was
There was a lot being
I was
said
ready.
about that.
Yeah, and then if we cheated you, why you talking about your quarterback? Quarterback should have been the issue if we cheated you. So,
yeah,
but
I don't know about all that, but it's, you know, it's
Hey, like Coach always say, we don't talk,
Yep.
play football.
Yeah.
I was ready. I was excited, you know, to get ready to bring the first city championship to Dupont Hadley in like the 50-plus year,
Mm-hmm.
50-plus years of the school, and to be the first team to do it. You know, that's our name is in the history books.
Yeah, and then it was just big for the school because
That was huge.
that first half of the year, just at Dupont Hadley period, you know, through Mr. Davis and everything going on, it was just a lot going on at the school that was something kind of to lift the spirits up in the hallways, you know.
Well, it brought us all together because, you know, Mr. Davis, we actually kind of recognized him at the first game because Mr. Davis actually worked it
Lytton before he came over
and
to
then
us.
he came to Hadley, and his cancer took him down extremely fast, and with him passing away, that was a big blow to the boys. To me, you know, that was a tough one for me. He was an all-around good guy, and you know, he taught our boys, you know, just to no matter what, keep fighting. You know, he fought every minute, you know, through his illness, and he never gave up. Yeah. And I think our boys displayed the same thing. We had a lot go on, man. Our principal lost his mother, and then, man, even, you know, your mom going through her situation. And,
Yeah.
That was one of my favorite plays, too, when Tyron caught the touchdown pass in front of your mom, you know.
Yeah, that was dope.
Surgery, and
yeah,
that was good.
dope.
So, man, you know, just the Hadley family, and it was, you know, we had a lot going on.
Yeah, 2019 was that'll go in the history book for DuPont Hadley. That was a lot.
Family,
that was a lot that you could write a whole book about it.
Yeah.
It could be a movie. Till everything went like, boy, it'd be a heck of a movie. Matter of fact, we might need to put that in production.
Going into that Lincoln game, man, I told the boys in the locker room, I said, hey, man, they don't score. I didn't have no long speech. You know, a few different people wanted to come in and talk to them and say a little thing. I'm like, whatever, go ahead. All I said, hey, man, they don't score. And I meant that. I mean, the outcome was 32-2. So in my eyes, they did what I asked them to do.
Yeah.
They wanted it.
And it could have been worse. It could have been worse.
Yeah.
But, you know, when the head coach say stop, you got to stop. So,
Man, but I ain't gonna lie, that running back they got, he gonna be somebody special
yeah,
when he get to the high school level.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that kid is a dog.
Hey, if you playing middle school ball this year and you ain't trying to go, you know, you can come on over us. We got an open enrollment. I know people don't like that either, and that's the key thing. Open enrollment.
Academics first.
Yeah, what's DuPont Hadley like top 5 in academics
We
for Metro?
Top 7.
Top 7. Okay.
And 3 or 4 of those schools are
charter schools,
magnet schools in front of us. So it's an all around great school. You know, academically, athletically.
good teachers.
Great teachers. Great teachers, admin, like the whole Hadley family, the community of Old Hickory. And that was one of the big things I worried about coming from Jerry Baxter. I'm like, man, how are these people going to receive me over here?
Yeah.
You know, I didn't know, and it was open arms. Open arms.
That's the vibe I get when I come through the building.
Yeah.
So, before we get into the last topic of the show today, if it's somebody that's looking into being on the DuPont Hadley team as a player, even though we couldn't get some of them done this year, what are the things that, you know, through our program that we try to give our boys once they get in full pads on that first day that we in the locker room, full pads with our player packages? What are the things that we try to give our boys that kind of makes them feel like they're really a part of a program?
Well, in whole as a program, you know, we preach the academics first, and Coach BY is the enforcer. When your grades are
Yes,
not
sir.
right, he will handle that. But you know, our teachers work in unison. You know, the study hall before practice, that's mandatory. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You know, we had quite a few boys that, you know, had an F on that first progress report that first year we were there. And, you know, Coach BY and I, we were like, man, nah, we can't have this. We can't have this. So, you know, in preparation that next year, and Miss Preston, you know, she did a great job with the boys, a few other teachers, giving them what they needed, and we cut those numbers almost completely out. You know what I'm saying? So we preach academics first, because like right now, if we don't get to play football, it's all about their grades. This is perfect time for what we've been talking about.
Yep.
If there's no football, you still got to get those grades.
Yep. And then you ain't got them grades when you going to try to get into these private schools.
Yeah, they're going to look at it.
Especially if they ain't seen you play either.
Yeah.
That's going to make your chances even harder. Like, man, I couldn't even see you play this year.
But that's one part of the player package. That's part of it too.
Yeah.
But, you know, as far as stuff, you know, we've tried to put it out there, and, you know, we want to dress the kids when they come to the locker. They got the dry fit shirts and shorts that we work out in for our hot weather, hoodie and sweats for the cold weather, 3-4 pair of game socks, compression shirts, tights, just, you know, a nice little player package to give them that feel, and, you know, let them know what to expect when they get on up in the next levels of football. What else? We stay on our principal. He ain't with, you know, us looking sloppy on the field.
Oh, yeah.
We're gonna make sure we
I think
right.
Yeah. And I think
Always.
soon y'all gonna see something new from us. Might not be this season, but soon that black or that smoke gray is coming. And don't let us get a pink one on you. We get a pink one on you, it's over with.
There you go. I don't know what kind of sponsors he got.
I just say,
But yeah, man, it's a total package. You know, we make the kids, you know, through our various ways of how we do it, we make the kids get to know each other on a personal level, so they're not as, you know, kids pick on each other. They do a lot these days. So if I know what you got going on in your life, I may not pick on you as fast, or
I may just leave that topic out of the equation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we're a real family.
Yeah.
We're a real family, and you know, like I said, our teachers, they're second to none. They really show a great interest in our kids, our admin. They make sure everything is in place. Like this, what we're doing right now, online school, like Dupont Hadley is killing the game. Killing the game right now. And this is the advantage for all you athletes out there, middle school, high school. Right now is the time for y'all to be making straight A's. There's no excuses.
Yep.
Everybody should be making straight A's. Everybody.
Yep. So from that 8th grade class, you know, we had some kids go a little bit of everywhere.
Yeah, we did.
From Pearl to Ravenwood.
What is that? John Paul School?
JP2.
John Paul, we got JP2, Pearl,
NSA,
East, NSA,
Lipscomb.
Father Ryan.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Father Ryan. I mean, just a little bit of everywhere, like, you know what I'm saying? And I like that too, though. Man, McGavick,
VCA,
yeah. You know what I'm saying? And
got kids everywhere.
everywhere, and I really like that too. You know what I'm saying? So the last topic, I want to get into this too, because I'm gonna talk with more coaches about this topic as well. Okay? Because I want to see what people say and how we could try to, you know, maneuver and get some things kind of done through our voices of us talking and us coming together. So, you know, we can start with you, BY, because you still in the youth world.
Here we go.
So what are some good things and what are some bad things when it comes to youth sports in Nashville? When it comes to dealing with from parents to players to the people that run the leagues and run the organizations. Cause I know, you know what I'm saying, you in a good spot though. You probably ain't really got too much, you know what I'm saying.
It's a lot. It's a lot. It kind of.
Well, start with the good first. Let's go ahead and, you know what I'm saying.
It's a good thing that they even have these programs established so that these kids can partake in something other than doing some things they could be doing.
Okay. Off the top, number one.
And that's a good thing. When it comes to the kids, there's not really anything bad about the kids. It's the adults, man. It's like which the adults is the ones that organize and take care of it and make sure this happens and make, you know what I'm saying?
So you saying more not the parents or the people that run the
both?
Okay.
Because a lot of times the parents can kind of get out of hand.
Speak a little closer on the mic.
Sometimes the parents can kind of get out of hand sometimes and cause issues that could really be avoided.
Okay.
Instead of allowing the coaches and the people who do it, they kind of sometimes want to interject their own feelings and which can cause problems.
Okay, and I ain't gonna lie, I've done that before.
Yeah,
you know, we
just heard the story.
But I came back and
I
came back and apologized. I know there's a lot of parents that won't come back and say nothing and still drop their kid off at practice, like, you know what I'm saying. But I knew I couldn't do that because I know he ain't like that. But I know if another coach after that happened could do my brother dirty. Right. So that's why I was like, man, let me at least go apologize. You know what I'm saying?
And another thing, and this is something that I kind of found out since I got to middle school, that us as coaches in the city on these different levels, I think some way, somehow, we should like kind of come together and put a little bit more structure to what's going on. Because it's like people are competing to get kids from like for example, Bardo Eagles. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're trying to like for example, if they're about 12 years old or something, they're pretty good. They're like real good. It's time to go play some school ball instead of you trying to pull them back and hold them into into little leagues. Hey, they need to start growing now. They're dominating this league. They're not gonna get any better dominating again. You know what I'm saying? But just a clear kind of understanding and a kind of mutual agreement. Hey, I got this area. Hey, just a little more. I'm holding the mic too far away.
Oh no, you good now.
More chemistry between the coaches, I think, could make the experience for the athlete in Nashville a little bit better.
Yeah, because
that's what I'm saying.
With you saying that, like when Tyron transitioned from little league to middle school, at first we didn't want to do it. I ain't gonna lie to you, we didn't want to do it because our coach had moved to another, you know what I'm saying, team. And then I ain't gonna lie, he expected my brother to be a captain of the team and to do some things. So we was like, man, we just gonna wait. We gonna wait to 8th grade. We ain't gonna do it. But then it got to the point where another kid came in to play with them, but he didn't. I ain't saying they were the same level, but they were similar. And now all of a sudden, the roles and stuff you wanted my brother to play, now, you know what I'm saying? Now you talking to him like, and now it's like you putting my brother coming in the car talking about this. You know what I'm saying? But the whole time we like, man, we could have been and went to middle school, and we stayed because my brother wanted. You know what I'm saying? You wanted to put him in this role, and that's what we were gonna do.
And that's what I'm saying. But that coach looking at Tyron and being like, this is a dominant player.
Yeah.
Hey, let me go holler at so and so and let them know, hey, he might want to take a look at this kid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because he got, in my opinion, I think him playing with us that first year that we was there, he got better.
But what happened, I'm not going to lie, he started to go through the struggles of really being a student athlete. If you playing rec ball, you could be failing in school and still go play. Yeah, they might run you for having an F or something, but if you a dominant player, best believe they going to want you playing on Saturday morning or Saturday night. So once he got to Hadley, he started to slowly realize damn, for me to play sports, I gotta get
Grades.
at least a C or higher. And he struggled with that. And then sometimes I feel like he did some stuff on purpose to not play certain sports. But I feel like that's the main thing. When you jump from rec ball to school ball, you really learn how to be a student athlete. Cause now it matters. Your coach, at least one of the coaches in middle school was in the building.
And that's a big thing, man. Like, people don't understand the middle school coach. You gotta break the 6th or 7th graders from some of the bad habits in youth football while prepping the 8th graders for high school. So you playing 2 roles. And that's probably one of the biggest problems we have is kids coming and not taking their work seriously. So, like, I've taken it upon myself when 5th graders enter the building, they can't even play sports till they get to 6th grade. I start talking about eligibility, and I break it down to them. So, like, I had 5th graders coming to show me their report cards this past school year. Coach Marshall, look, I'm eligible to play football next year, right? In the first semester. But I put in their head, eligibility. I don't care how good you are, how fast you are. If you can't play, if you don't have the grades, you're not playing. Dr. Armstrong is not going to be on your side. Your teachers are not going to be on your side to change my mind. But they're going to back me. But if your grades are, if you have certain grades, there's nothing any of us can do because you're not eligible. So, like, I feel like, on the youth level, that needs to be something that's touched on a little more because you got a whole lot of kids that, 12-year-olds running the ball, making tackles, and then they get to school and they ain't doing no work. Because like you said, on Saturday, man, he had 3 Fs on his report card. We make him run in practice, but, Mama, we need him Saturday. Not with me, and we can speak on it. Look, your brother got suspended for a game.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, it happened 2 years back to back.
Now look,
But the example was, and he learned, he understood it. He did something in school, and I said, man, you suspended for a game. And I think we won like 46-0. That's when he was in the 7th grade. We played with him. We won. we won like 46-0, and he came back to school the next day, and he was like, "Coach, I heard y'all put up 46 points." I said, "We did." I said, "And we did without you." I said, "So what does that tell you? That you don't need me?" Correct. Then he did some other little foolish stuff at the beginning of his 8th grade year. They got him set out for half a game, but our kids know we don't play that. The parents back us. We have their respect. They have ours. They know. Mm-hmm. Like our parent meeting, we put it down. This is what we're going for, and this is what we're not going for.
Yeah.
And that's it.
That's it.
That's it.
So, what are some other things that possibly organizations could get better with, or coaches could get better with?
It's always room to grow.
Yeah.
We can always get better. I guess just the relationships can just be a little bit better. If we can just get healthy relationships between the adults.
Bring the mic a little closer to you.
Overseeing these kids,
Uh-huh.
I think it'll be a better experience for them, and it'll also at the same time help things flow smoother for us.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a matter of everybody getting on the same page, and I think that's just a constant working at it.
Yeah.
But as long as we strive to do it and we're genuine about accomplishing it, we'll get there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, Coach Marshall, So what's some, you know what I'm saying, on your side of it, you know, with you when you was in youth football, and then from things you've seen, and you know what I'm saying, because I think we all on coaches forum too. You know what I'm saying? Like what's some things that, you know, you feel like we do good, like, hey, we don't need to change this, but if we can come together and change and do this, or it's a possibility if we do that, like what are some things that,
Again, man, the good of it is exposing these kids to the game of football, introducing them to it, and getting them started on the path that could possibly become, you know, free education,
mm-hmm,
and possibly even further. You know, that's the great thing about it. That's the best thing about it. It's keeping them active, keeping them out of trouble. Same stuff Coach B.Y. said. The negative part, again, is the adults. It's the adults. Like everybody, again, it's pretty much everything he said. We got to get on the same page. And I don't see why youth organizations and middle schools can't sit down and rap with each other and create some type of pipeline. I don't understand why that cannot be done. It can be done, but a lot of people don't want to do it. You know, there's a lot of people fuss about how many organizations are in the city.
yeah,
And there's so many people that, oh, I want my own organization, that don't even need to be running no organization. Like, they really don't. But you got so many kids spread out here that, like, our city has some great organizations. Some have been around for a long time, long time. And they do great things with the kids, but it's just it's the adults, man. Everybody, like you said, everybody got to get on the same page, and the bickering and the back and forth, as far as a 12-year-old, like he say, we know kids is 12 years old that can play as sixth graders. Yeah. And I've said it before, and a lot of y'all stop lying to these parents, telling these parents, don't let him play for the school. He in the sixth grade, he ain't gonna get no playing time. That's a lie. I start at least one sixth grader every year. I've started 3 before. Some kids, we got one that was an 8th grader. This past year, that was his first time ever playing middle school ball. He should have been playing middle school ball as a 6th grader, because he was just that dominant. But it didn't happen. A lot of these kids, when they come from youth to middle school, and it's one in point, I love him to death. He's one of the best athletes in this city. I had him at Jerry Baxter. But get some kids that they're on a winning program, or they get to run the ball 25 times a game. And then when they come to middle school and they have to share that responsibility with other people, they don't like it. It becomes a problem. You know, you get a lot of clapback and, oh, so-and-so, I used to do this. You're not there anymore. Or you got parents that, well, man, you know, my son did this over here. He didn't do it for me. And even if I did come to see your child play, he ain't done it over here. He got to come prove himself. Plain and simple. They got to come prove themselves. But the negative part is the adults, man. And I feel like we can get on the same page, to make these things work. But it's almost like, I don't know, it's like the two don't want to come together at all, or even be remotely close to each other.
As if we're in a multi-million-dollar business here,
right,
or something.
And at the end of the day, we all prepping the kids to get to the next level. But it's like it's a few out there, and again, it's great youth coaches, great ones. But it's some out there like they'll tell a parent anything just to keep their child.
yeah,
Or to get that dollar.
And one thing too, man, I just thought about the youth football in this area, because there's so many organizations and so many teams, the competition ain't what it could be. And that's kind of, I mean, our team was pretty dominant this season, which is good and it's cool. You know, it makes you feel good. But I like the challenge. I really like the challenge. And I think, like, on that level right now in the city, the competition just ain't there. You got, like, 1, 2, 3 teams that just dominate every year. You know what I'm saying? So I think it would be beneficial if we consolidated a lot of that. You know what I'm saying? It'll be more interesting, I believe, for us, and it'll be more challenging for the kids.
So do you think something like that could ever happen? Where
it's happening now.
I mean it is, but are they consolidating or are they just making a new league for all these kids to go to?
I mean, I don't know, but just from what I'm reading and what I'm hearing people talk about, it looks like, you know, a lot of that stuff is, I don't know if it's coming to an end or it's just, you know, put on hold for right now. But from what I'm hearing and seeing, this probably be one of the most competitive seasons of youth football that we've had in this city.
I hope, but I'm not gonna lie. When you say consolidating, that do make sense. Cause like think about it, the Firebirds in West Nashville, they right around the block from each other. Why don't West Nashville, the Firebirds?
And so it, like he just said, they're being forced to do it now. So anybody interested in that little league football, this is probably the year to go check out the games.
Yeah.
It's a couple of leagues that didn't play this year. They're all coming to one league, so it's about to pop off.
But that's the thing. It's still a lot of teams. Are they going like, nah, we gonna all go play with the Firebirds this year on this side of town? We all gonna go play with the Bordeaux Eagles on this side of town? Or we all gonna go play with? You see what I'm saying? Are they doing it like that, or are they like, nah, we all just gonna go to this league?
Well, I can tell you what's happening because as I said, I'm out there with the Bordeaux Eagles. What I'm noticing is that like most of the teams that didn't have their seasons, like they're bringing their boys and going to another spot. You know, so like I'm not finna run through no names, but you know,
I know a couple names.
Like, okay, we're not playing, so hey, let's go over to this organization and take the whole team.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not like some of them did sporadically start just going places. I'm sorry about the mic, but for the most part, you know, the coaches who got those relationships with their parents, man, they brought over groups. So you know, they really did combine some squads, and it's you know.
I mean, cause I know it can happen, cause from when Tyron was playing, it was MTB at first. Then when stuff hit the fan, the whole team, including the coaches, went to Nashville Cardinals, and then we won two of them, and then we left there and went to West Nashville, and then Tyron ended up didn't play in the season and came on to Dupont Hadley. You know what I'm saying? So that's how y'all, you know, you feel like we should consolidate the teams down to a little less than what it is.
I think it would be a good idea to do that, just to raise the level of competition.
Okay, and then you feel like just the adults got to start acting like adults, and
I mean, it's not everybody.
It's not everybody.
You know, but if everybody come to an understanding, man, and get on the same page, and don't get it twisted. We're no slouches around here when it comes to football, but it's, you know, I hear a lot of the argument of we're behind other cities.
Yeah.
I've been hearing that a lot and reading that a lot. We're behind other cities when it comes to certain areas.
But I feel like athlete wise we're not. I don't feel like athlete wise we're not, man, because bro, there's people committing to these colleges almost every other day from Nashville.
Well, we're not, but again,
I feel like it's a coaching thing to me.
It is a coaching thing, and some people recognize that. Some just say it's the talent.
I don't think it's the talent.
I don't think it's the talent, but on our level, I can't speak.
I don't think it is, man.
I can't speak on the youth level.
Man.
Hold on, but I can't speak on the youth level. But I know in middle school football, nobody is doing what we do. Period. Nobody is doing what we do. And it comes with, you got to evolve with the game. you got to change some things. You can't just be set in your ways and continue
Yeah.
to do what you've been doing and think something is gonna change. Like you got to get better with the game. You got to read. You got to study. You got to go watch football. You got to talk to people on levels above you. You can't just you think because your 28 pitch sweep been working on this level for you just the coldest coach. No, that's not it.
Yeah. So you feel like it's a little bit of the talent?
I mean,
Speaking of-
okay, so when you yes,
We
I
got
do.
the
I do.
talent, coach.
Because this is the reason why I say
got
it.
the talent.
Let me make sure. Okay, hold on.
Uh,
So, but this is on my mind straight went to Florida when you started that.
Man,
Because
that's
I'm sitting there
hot.
thinking to myself.
oh yeah, I
Okay,
can.
so this is what I'm thinking to myself. Tennessee will never fill up a college like Florida when it comes to football. But that's just the talent, man. It's like
I feel you, but look,
and
this is the reason why I say that I don't feel like it's the talent. Okay, because a couple years back, no matter of fact, last summer, before we even came to Hadley, I think no, it was in between his 7th grade year and this year that just passed. I took him to Dallas. They had like a type of, it was like a showcase type thing, but top teams in the nation that are at the youth level that's his age was in there. The Miami Gardens,
I know exactly what that is.
that's like that won the national championship 3 years in a row, got bullied, all of them. Tyron go down there. He gets placed on that team. And in practice, he is doing his thing, and the coaches are coming to me like, man, I don't know how y'all could do it, but if y'all could move to Miami, I promise you, we will have him. And it, like for real, that's how they.
we got
And this
the-
is
we
a
got the
Nashville.
talent.
Your
This
brother
is a
special though, bro.
But he's a
Every kid
Nashville.
Ain't Tyron, bro.
But I promise you, from the summer, and then he wasn't even the only special one on our team in this past year. We had probably 4 or 5 special ones that got a chance to really do something.
It's just my opinion, bro.
I know, man. I
We got
just,
the
And
talent.
the reason, and the reason, and I'm not saying there's no talent here. That's not what I'm saying.
yeah.
But I'm just saying, when it comes to comparison to, you saying signing deals, man, the kids down there, it's different, man.
I mean, and I feel like it's all, but I feel like it trickles down to the youth level. Because when you look at the youth level, some of them youth coaches are people that played for Miami, or has a agency that works with the management of NFL people, and that's the only thing that I see. That's the only thing that I see as a difference is when older guys that went almost to their highest level or went to their highest level, they'll come back and coach. And then they best friends that they was around that didn't make it that far, but they were around the game, are coaching. And then that's why I feel like it's the only difference is that coaches that played for Miami when some of the greats was there that went pro but probably got cut or whatever, they come back and keep instilling it. And then they got connections. Hey, man, I know. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I can get you that. You know what I'm saying? And then that's how you see them kids that's in the 8th grade getting scholarships, even though it's a verbal and not a real deal scholarship, because you can't get a real scholarship to your sophomore year. So that's the only thing that I see is really the difference is we got to have some more of those guys that may almost come back and feed into the community so they can see it, believe in it, and they feel like they touching it. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing I see is the difference. But talent-wise, I feel like we got it. It's just we got to find a way, and that's why I want to build this up for it's an outlet where a kid that's running that rock can sit right here.
And to go with what you're saying, man, I feel you what you're saying. Because, like, down there, those people come back and start on them as 5-year-olds. So it builds them all these years until they get to that level. And then, hey, they ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, they already got connections. They feel like they almost like, shoot, my coach was, you know what I'm saying? Little stuff like that. That's the only thing I feel is the difference.
We behind in that.
You know what I'm saying? But other than that, I mean, talent-wise, I feel like, man, we put our best talent, like our complete best talent, on one team. We could go to toe with. We'll go down to Florida and we'll at least beat 2 out of the 3. I promise you, I believe we will. I'm just saying.
Another thing, man, as far as our talent, like, you know, the issue of metro middle schools, we only play a city championship. Like, I just found out last year that there's a state championship for middle school football.
And if we can get in that.
And it's over 35 to 40 teams in metro middle schools.
On me.
And
Oakland Middle, we wanted you.
yeah,
We wanted
it'll never happen, but that's some exposure our kids
could be getting.
could be getting. You know what I'm saying? That instead of just stuck with the city championship.
Yeah. But man, I thank y'all for coming through, you know, chilling with me. I know y'all see y'all about 3, 4, 5 days out the week.
Dupont
But
Hadley 2019 city champs.
Yes,
football,
sir.
9-0.
yeah,
We made history.
fun year, man. We finna do this too, Pete.
2020, we right back.
Back to
Y'all
back.
think it's a game. Y'all better hope they don't let us play.
And if they don't, 2021, we on your head. We coming for it, but
Stop ranking these kids.
he said stop ranking these kids.
Stop ranking these kids.
Oh Lord Jesus.
Stop telling 8-year-olds they the number 1 8-year-old in the country. Stop it. Stop it.
Oh man, well man, I thank y'all for coming through. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, just I can't wait for this next season. No matter if it's this year or next year, we gonna shake it, man.
Coming. This year, next year, don't matter.
So-
Hadley Bulldogs, we don't talk, we play ball.
All day.
See you at the doghouse.
Yes, sir. Shout out to the best middle school in the city, Dr. Kevin Armstrong, admin, all the great teachers, DuPont Hadley, parents, athletes. Hadley is where you want to be.
So, you know where to reach. Hate is Marshall on Facebook.
Nah, don't call me.
But all right, y'all, man. Thank you for coming through. You know, thank you for coming to the VC Lab, and we out.